Ooh, y'all, the streets are on fire right now, and the drama is hotter than a midday Miami sun, because guess who's caught up in some real messy business? Rick Ross. And baby, this ain't no regular rap beef. This time, Rose done messed with the wrong man, Big Meech, and word on the street, Meech ain't just mad, he allegedly put a hit out on Rick Ross. Yes, you heard that right, a whole hit. And the gag? Everyone saw this betrayal coming, except Big Meech. Now the entire internet is glued to the chaos like it's the final season of Power, and honestly, the plot twists are giving everything it needs to give. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's rewind and dive deep into this rabbit hole of betrayal, clout chasing, and straight-up snake behavior.
Yeah.
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
So, while the internet's busy munching on popcorn, guess who's sitting back smirking and posting shady captions? 50 Cent. Yup, because ever since Rick Ross threw 50 under the bus, 50's been firing subliminals left and right on social media. But the craziest part? Big Meech, fresh out of prison, went straight into Rick Ross' arms like he was the savior of the streets. Like, seriously? Instead of showing gratitude to the man who literally put his son on 50 Cent, Meech cozied up to one of 50's biggest ops. I mean, imagine someone holds you down for years, gives your son a $5 million career, and you pop out of prison smiling in selfies with their enemy. That's a cold-blooded move. And if that wasn't enough to twist the knife, Meech linked up with Floyd Mayweather, another one of 50's known rivals. Meanwhile, Lil Meech is out here giving interviews about real power, like he wasn't just playing dress-up in Chrome Hearts jeans. Where's the loyalty? Where's the respect? Because say what you want about 50, he turned Big Meech's name into a cultural force. He built an empire off BMF, sure, but he did something with it. Rick Ross? He just played Meech like a pawn in a game of dirty chess. Ross knew exactly what he was doing. This man's a master manipulator. He hyped Meech up, made big promises, soaked up clout, then slowly started slipping out the back door the second things got messy. And the internet clocked it immediately. Y'all remember when Rick Ross magically developed that shoulder injury? Like right after getting exposed for allegedly scamming Meech and lying about their business deals? He made sure everybody knew about it too. Shoulder brace, sympathy posts, full victim mode.
You see what I'm doing right now? My shoulder broke, but we still getting to the money. We still counting paper. This ain't a pump and dump, baby.
Like we were supposed to feel bad for him? Sir, you just finessed one of the most respected names in the streets and dipped. But the real gag is, Rick wasn't just hiding from Meech. He was dodging everyone, including fans he scammed through his boss, CryptoCoin. That's right, the same fans who trusted him ended up calling him Ruggy Ross after he pulled the rug out from under them. Embarrassing. And let's not forget, it was right after he got exposed that he suddenly had a broken shoulder. Coincidence? Yeah, okay. And get this. According to Inside Whispers, Rick Ross was the one whispering in Big Meech's ear, telling him to pressure 50 Cent for more money. Like, why? So he could watch the drama unfold and keep his hands clean. Now Big Meech is left with nothing. No franchise, no real estate, no comeback plan. Even those Wingstop stores everyone thought Meech would benefit from. Word is, Rick Ross sold most of them off, left maybe 2 behind just to save face, while he poured the rest of the money into his real estate empire. And Lil Meech, Chile, he was out here blowing millions on designer fits and flexing on Instagram like he's gonna. Meanwhile, their whole empire is crumbling. People are clowning Big Meech now, calling this the fastest downfall in street loyalty history. And one of the loudest voices? Michael Rainey Jr., aka Tariq from Power. He straight up said he doesn't feel bad for either of them. They're grown men, he said. They should have seen this coming.
Do I feel bad for Lil Meech? I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the fuck I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too, nigga. You asking for my sympathy for, nigga. You be alright. Oh, yeah, nigga.
And 50 Cent? Oh, baby, he's having the time of his life right now. This man lives for drama like this. Even DJ Vlad said it. 50 is the last person you want to cross, because if you play with him, he will literally burn your entire reputation to ashes and dance in the flames.
The bad guy out of all of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. That Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No.
No? You think 50?
No.
Lil Meech?
No.
Who am I forgetting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
And let's be real, Rick Ross has a pattern. This ain't the first time he's left someone stranded in the desert. Y'all remember when he let his own crew get jumped in Canada and then said he was testing their strength? That's not street smarts, that's diabolical. Even Whack 100 had to speak up saying Rick Ross is the real villain in this drama. And here's the thing, Whack 100 Ben saw this betrayal coming.
How do you feel about the rapper Rick Ross having the same name?
Well,
fact that he stole my name. Not that we had the same name. He actually stole my whole story, my identity, the whole thing. You know, he built his career off of my legacy.
Rick Ross was never a real friend to Big Meech. He knew exactly what he was doing from day one. He hyped Meech up, turned him against 50, made big money promises, and delivered nothing. If he really wanted to help, he would have kept things quiet, handled business behind the scenes. But no, he was too busy trashing 50 Cent publicly and bragging about buying the rights to the BMF series, which he never actually had. And now, crickets. Rick Ross has ghosted Big Meech completely. He's moved on, promoting whatever makes him more money. And Meech ain't part of that picture no more. The most shocking part of all this? Word is, Rick Ross is the real reason Big Meech's Welcome Home benefit concert got canceled. All this time, people were blaming 50 Cent, but it was Ross pulling the strings from behind the curtain. And when 50 finally spoke on it, I had nothing to do with this. Please stop calling my phone. I sincerely hope you have a nice day. Happy Valentine's Day. People laughed, but now it all makes sense. Meech really thought Rick Ross was on his team, especially after that whole "I think I'm Big Meech" line in the BMF song, but let's talk about that for a second. What if Rick Ross didn't just admire Big Meech? What if he wanted to be Big Meech? Let's really unpack that wild thought. What if Rick Ross didn't just respect Big Meech? What if he was trying to be Big Meech? Think about it. Ross has a whole history of building his brand off real-life drug kingpins and street legends. This ain't some cute industry coincidence. Rick Ross literally named himself after the real Rick Ross, a notorious kingpin who was locked up at the time. And when the real Rick got out, he tried to sue Ross for stealing his identity.
In his career that you have any respect for? Oh, no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him.
Back in 2010, when Freeway Rick Ross finally had enough of Rose using his name, he took him to court for trademark infringement. He said Ross had no right to profit off his legacy while he sat behind bars. But you already know how the system works. Ross, who had already blown up as a rapper, claimed he made the name up himself. And in 2013, the judge sided with him, saying it was protected by First Amendment free speech. Translation: Rick Ross won just because he had more fame, more money, and let's not forget, he used to be a corrections officer. The irony is so thick you could slice it. So is it really that crazy to think he tried the same move with Big Meech? First, he drops a whole anthem saying, "I think I'm Big Meech." Then he starts cozying up to Meech the second he gets out of prison. All those flashy promises, all those headlines, the benefit concert, the fake business deals, it was all optics. Because when the time came for Ross to actually help Meech rebuild, he ghosted. Sound familiar? This is exactly what he did with Larry Hoover back in 2021. Another real-life kingpin with a legacy in the streets. Rick Ross used his name in countless songs, hyped up his image, rode that gangster wave all the way to platinum. But when Hoover's people needed real support, Ross vanished. Word is Ross paid millions just to be allowed to keep using Hoover's name in his lyrics. But did he show up when it really mattered? Nope. Just like now, just like always. And you know what? People were dragging him for it. There were even rumors that Ross was too scared to show up to an event at the stadium because of how many folks were ready to check him over the Hoover disrespect. His silence said it all. Now here we are, history repeating itself with Big Meech. And this ain't lost on 50 Cent either. He said years ago he didn't respect Rick Ross as a man, and now we're seeing exactly why. Because when push comes to shove, Ross doesn't ride for anybody but himself.
I'll buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
So while the whole world is watching this fallout, guess who's out here grinning from ear to ear? Yup, 50 Cent. Because this time, he didn't have to clap back. He didn't have to lift a finger. The whole drama just unfolded on its own, and he's just sitting back collecting his coins from new projects and watching his enemies fall apart. Meanwhile, Big Meech and Lil Meech, it's looking rough. They're allegedly going from one celebrity to another, begging for financial help. Yeah, the streets are saying they're out here asking for handouts just to stay afloat. And you remember when Rick Ross was laughing at 50 for not being able to secure a loan to build his movie studio? Yeah, well, plot twist. That loan just got approved, and 50's studio is officially underway. Now Ross has to sit there and watch as 50 builds an empire. Without him, without Meech, without any of the drama. Fans are saying Rick Ross is probably out there punching the air. Because just a few weeks ago, this man was bragging about buying 50's masters. Let's be honest, looking back now, that claim sounds absolutely delusional. As for Lil Meech and Big Meech, the damage is done. And even though 50 might not hold on to grudges forever, it's crystal clear. There's no going back. That bridge is burned. And one person who's been vocal from the very beginning, Zip with the drip. He's been saying from jump that 50 Cent was telling the truth and Rick Ross was up to no good. He predicted all of this would blow up, and now he's been proven right. Fans online are saying this is the final nail in Big Meech's career coffin. This was his one shot to make a real comeback after doing time, but instead of playing it smart, he trusted the wrong people and let Rick Ross lead him into the lion's den. Like seriously, how you get out of prison and hand over your loyalty to a former corrections officer? It's giving karma, and social media is going in. One user posted, "Let me get this straight. A former corrections officer flip-flops on a dude who was in prison and who could have seen that coming." And another said, "A two-faced dude getting done dirty by another two-faced dude? That's karma, baby. Served hot." And honestly, that pretty much sums it up. So now the big question everyone's asking, is Big Meech really out here plotting revenge? Did he actually put a hit on Rick Ross? Or is this all just internet whispers with no real smoke? Because while Meech is allegedly being accused of betraying his childhood friend Cuff, people are starting to realize maybe Big Meech isn't just the victim here. Maybe he made some real messy choices that brought all of this chaos to his doorstep. It's wild how the tables turned, and the drama just keeps unfolding. Rick Ross went from playing the BMF song guy to the alleged scammer who betrayed the very man he once praised. And 50 Cent? He's got the ultimate revenge. Success. But what do y'all think? Is Big Meech really about to retaliate? Or did Rick Ross dodge the bullet literally? Because if there's one thing we've learned in this story, it's that loyalty in the industry is a myth. And karma? She always circles back. Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss another juicy update.